All right, g'day. Here we are. It's been on and off the last few weeks, but missed Thursday night's game, and it was a good day to play. But if you're listening to Bostonian versus the book earlier that day, we did mention it there. But yeah, going to run through today's games. Quite a few games that have some really big action. Bunch of them, the early games. I'm noticing more and more as time gets to the games, we're seeing more and more rec action, which then kind of puts it into position that changes what we're looking to cheer on. But let me hit these 9-10 games. I think we've got about half a dozen of them first, and then I'll get through the rest of them. Army Temple. We're looking at 64% of the money on Army, 78% of the master money is on Army. Looking at numbers like -6.5, -7 is the chunk of that. Bit of the coming back at the 7.5. Looks like a solid number, and they're all over Army, so we're going to need Temple there. Total well balanced. James Madison Marshall, not as big volume. 63% of the money, James Madison. 61% of master money there. Just going to click into these and just see if the numbers have ran or whether it's pretty consistent with where it's at. Yeah, most of the action here -13.5 and +14. And currently it's sitting at 13.5. West Virginia, Colorado. Ooh, good volume on this one. 65% is on West Virginia. 57% of the master money is on Colorado. We're looking at +6, +6.5 versus -6, -5.5. That's where the bulk of this is. Sitting pretty solid at 7, 6.5 is where that's hovering between. SMU Boston College. You can't hear me. Don't tell me I have Bluetooth on. No, everything. I don't know if everyone else having the same issue. No. Well, maybe I need to check on. All right, cool. Maybe there's something wrong with your speakers or something there, Henry. I know there would have been more jumping on it a lot quicker if they couldn't hear me. So SMU Boston College, looking at 57% of the money on SMU, 75% of the master money. Looking at SMU money, -10, -9.5 is where the strong money. Let me see who that is. Okay. Ooh. 10.5. I'm just checking something. Just saw an account there. Looked familiar. Gonna see if. Yep. Bunch of totals win. I haven't seen it coming in the college. Coming on 2. SMU -10 and Penn State +14.5. Huh. Had some winners last week, so yeah, hadn't seen that account active. It's pretty strong plays. All right, let me get back to this. So yeah, the sharp money, and this is sharp money, is on SMU there. -10, bid at 9.5. There is some comeback at the 10.5 and 11. Not fools in their own rights, but I guess it's just very much playing a numbers game, that one. Indiana Penn State, which is by far the biggest bet game so far. No, BYU Texas Tech. Anyway, Indiana Penn State, fairly well balanced for the amount of money we're doing. 65% of the master money is Penn State, as I just mentioned. I know there's some strong money at the 14.5. Who else we got playing this game? So looking at minus 13.5, minus 14, and then the comeback there is 14, 14.5. Pretty strong money at the 15 as well. I will note on this one as well, I did see some really strong money on Indiana to win the whole thing, to win the college football championship at a bit over 8-1. So if you're seeing any 8s to 10s or something like that, probably worth a tickle. I haven't dove into it a lot. I don't have any positions, I don't think, on the outright. I know I have some conferences in that. I don't have any idea how they're going. But yeah, Indiana got some seriously sharp money this week. Georgia, Mississippi State, 58% of the money Georgia, 87% of the master money is Georgia. This one's a bit all over the place. Where are we currently sitting? 9.5. Yeah, we saw some 7, some 7.5, some 8, some 8.5, some 9, some 9.5. There is no minus 10 Georgia, but there is some sharp plus 10 Mississippi State. But yeah, generally it's all one way. So, as the house, we're going to need Mississippi State. We're against both the pros and the Joes there. BYU, Texas Tech, phenomenal money on this game. Texas Tech, and I know there is some secretly sharp money on this. And I need to check the first half on this. So let me do both game and first half. Texas Tech, we're looking at 58% of the money, but as I said, there's a lot of volume on this game. On the flip side, we're seeing 59% of the sharp money on BYU. Now, if I jump into this, I do know Texas Tech got some really sharp money at minus 10.5. But all the money now is at plus 15, plus 14.5, plus 14, and plus 13.5 as a significant player. So again, sharp can be both, minus 10.5, plus 14.5, plus 14, etc. That's a pretty solid middle to be on if you're on it. What I did want to get into here was the first half, because I did see some good money on this. Get in master money. Yeah, so minus first half, minus 7. Saw some really good money, which I don't know what the ladder's at, but 7.5, you probably get that now. Which is, again, closer to... all right, so I can come out of that one. Let me hit this last 9 a.m. Let's check if there's what else they've played. I know they were pretty hard on Texas Tech. Utah State. Even played the Texas Tech money line, just slightly better than minus 400. But this is some respected money. Okay, and then what am I looking at? The 9-10s. Great thing is the traders changed the times from 9, so they're highlighted. I can see them real clearly. Southern Miss, Arkansas State, 67% on Southern Miss. And we're 86% of the master money there, Southern Miss. I mean, at 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6. A little bit of buyback at the 6.5 and the 7. So this looks like they've found their number pretty quickly. Fancy that, taking bets and moving the number to find where you want to be, and then you just open up the limits and let them go. All right, so that's all those early games. Let me just run through the rest. Charlotte, East Carolina, not a lot of volume. There is a strong bet on Charlotte at plus 28.5. It's the majority of the money on this game. Florida Atlantic, Tulsa, small money, 67% on Florida Atlantic, 71% of the master money on Florida Atlantic. Florida, Kentucky, definitely going to hit these games back up later because I'm sure the volume will change on that. But right now, it's all Florida. When I say all Florida, it's not all, never all. There's always something on the other side. But we're looking at 74% of the money on Florida and 91% of the master money is on Florida. And it's at -3. -3, and then any +3.5 money is on Kentucky. So just another one that's found its number. There hasn't been any master money laying the 3.5 in that game. We did those ones. Georgia State, Coastal Carolina, not even worth mentioning. Florida State, Clemson, looks like a bunch of these games going at 4:30. Pacific was right around the time that Scott and I are going to get on. So about 10 minutes before that, I'll come back and I'll do these games and run through them. But right now, we're looking at 64% on Florida State, 61% of the master money, Clemson. It's not a lot of volume, though, in the master chart. California and Louisville, 71% California, and 84% of the master money is California. Syracuse, Miami, not worth mentioning. Stanford, North Carolina, well balanced on the master chart. Master money is about 28% of all the money. I really haven't been running through these totals, but I don't feel the totals are super strong. If you ever want information, if you ever need any information on Pacific totals, I'll see if any jump out, but they're fairly well balanced because I think the traders are pretty aggressive on getting buyback and moving those numbers because I don't think they're that efficient. And there's not that, a lot of volume. There's, Oregon, Iowa, it's good volume, but it's well balanced on both master chart and whatnot. So money line's the same. Get parlays on the money line favorites and things like that. So continuing on, Ohio State, Purdue, 81% of the money's Ohio State, nothing on the master chart. Maryland, Rutgers, good money, well balanced. Overall, 82% of the Rutgers master charts on Rutgers. Wake Forest, Virginia, another 4 p.m., really good volume, really well balanced. 72% of the master money is on Virginia. That is at -6.5, bid at -5, and then +7 coming back the other way is pretty strong. Bowling Green, East Michigan, not worth mentioning. We did Georgia, Missouri State and Liberty, not worth mentioning. Although not a lot of volume. 68% of the money on Liberty, 97% of the master money on Missouri State. I'm guessing it's at the number not available, but let me see here. No, it is. +8, which is what the number is there now. And he took +8 -03, which now +8 to pick them. So some smart money there on Missouri State. UAB Rice, well balanced on the master chart, well balanced overall, not big volume. TCU, not big volume, 61% TCU, 63% master chart TCU. A&M and Missouri, 64% A&M, 99% master money A&M. We have got it at -5, -6, -6.5, -7. And what are we sitting there currently? 6.5. And then they lead the 7 at around even. So, but solid money there on A&M. And all the master money's in one way. Did BYU, Auburn, Vanderbilt, decent money. 68% of the money's on Auburn. Well balanced on the master chart. LSU, Bama, well balanced. Low to medium volume. Get another 4:30 game. So I think there's a bunch of really good games to come back later on. Texas State, not worth mentioning. Well balanced, small. Oregon, Iowa. 57% Iowa. 84% master money is on Oregon. You see this. Looks like the number's been around a bit. -4, -5, -5.5, -6, -6.5. Come back +6, +6.5. Let's see if there's anyone in here that bet it that would trust over others. So, +6, +6.5. There's some good money at -6, -5.5. So this is one. It's not a day to play, but it's pretty close. Another few 100,000 maybe on Iowa. But this is rec money Iowa, strong money Oregon, kind of at the +6.5, 6. So maybe the numbers go on to really want to get involved in that one. Washington, Wisconsin, 64% Wisconsin, 100% master money's. Sorry, that was Washington, and 100% master money is Washington. Big bets at 9.5, 10. Now you're laying 10.5, so don't want to get too involved there. UNLV, Colorado State, not a lot of money. 74% UNLV, 98% master money UNLV. Kansas, Arizona, well balanced master. Louis Tech, 80% and 94% master money. And it's at -4, -4.5, -5, -5.5. Delaware got some sharp money. You're getting that. Yeah, so that's a small game for us. Sharp money on Louis Tech. Florida International, Middle Tennessee State, nothing. San Jose State Air Force, 68% San Jose State, 67% Air Force Master. So -3.5. Okay. They're not getting this limits to open. But it was early in the week, 4 days ago. Yeah. So 3.5. I don't know why it ended up 6.5, but it is 6.5. And if I take out that 3.5, we are 100% of the master money's back on Air Force here. So not a penny once it went from 3.5 to the 6.5, and then we're getting +6, +5.5 good money. So this sort of shows up a bit more, because if I take out that San Jose 3.5 bet, now we're looking at a strong number. So Air Force +6.5 seems like it's a play there. Nebraska, UCLA. It's 71% of the money in Nebraska, 87% of the master money, 86% master money is Nebraska. I never carry an opinion on a Nebraska game. While the book is going to not need Nebraska. But there's a bunch at +3, +2.5, +2, +1.5. Got some buyback the other way at -1.5. So generally a lot of that's at numbers that don't exist anymore. Connecticut Duke, 67%. Connecticut, well balanced on the master chart. Southern Miss, we did. Kennesaw State, one of my best bets from week 1. 78%. Kennesaw State, sorry. And 68% of the master money. Getting down into these games. Nevada, Utah State, 72%, 68% of the master money, not big volume. Notre Dame, Navy, really no volume on this one at this point. Here's some couple more 4:30 games. Definitely going to get back for this. 82% Notre Dame, 61% master money. Again, not a lot of volume. San Diego State, Hawaii, really well balanced. 67% San Diego State on the master. And missed one, Sam Houston State and Oregon State, not worth mentioning. No volume there. Oh, okay. Now let me have a quick look at the first halves. Let's see if there's any standouts. West Virginia seeing a lot of money. So we're going to need Colorado there. Boston College seeing a lot of money. Going to need SMU there. Oh, here we go. Penn State +7. So Indiana, we have 69% of the money is on Indiana. And 100% of the master money. Okay. Strong guy, +7.5, a little bit of +8.5. So I think you can get some +7.5 Penn State. Let me write these down so I can check them back later. Penn State +7.5, if you can find it. Maybe 7's worthwhile. Good money on Georgia. Well balanced. Georgia, Mississippi State. BYU, Texas Tech, really good volume. Well balanced. All right, we can check them back later as well. Now, I'm not going to get too wrapped up in college basketball, but let me go through because these numbers have been just running insane. When I checked, got a few requests to check a few games early in the week. Yes, early in the week. Some of these numbers just, let me check this one. This might be a good example. Yeah, Duke, Western Carolina, -30, -32, -34, -35, -35.5, -36, -36.5. Very little to no nibbles on the other side. Open 30 is 36.5. So it's 96% of the money Duke, 97% of the master money Duke. I'm not sure you can do that unless you can go back in time and find some of that 30. Which, if you could do that, you'd be buying it anyway. But yeah, some of these things are just, it's just all one-way action. Here's a good volume game. Houston, Towson. -21.5, -23.5, -26.5, -27. Got some good action against that at +27. Then got -27.5. Then got good action at +28, +28.5. So I would look at this game. We need Towson. Towson? I have to look that one up. That if you're going to bet now, it's the only way you can bet is the underdog, based on what I'm seeing and all the stuff coming in. So that's what a lot of this is as well. To know where the number was, where the number is, the percentages. Again, when other sports books out there put out these percentages and splits, for me, it's fairly much bullshit because you don't know any of the inner workings of it. You don't know if there was just some random random, one that gets 10x limits or something that just fired in on one side and stuff like that. So just trying to give a bit more insight. Another good game. This one must have ran. Providence VTech. Let's see here. I don't know if there's any in particular as you're looking at in the college basketball. I don't know how many have switched to college basketball when there's still football going on. Yeah, this one ran. This was a +1 pick, -1, -1.5 for Providence. So they started as a small dog. It's flipped over. Master money strong. Really nothing on the VTech side. Not even really any buyback once it hit the 2. Just no one laying the 2. Here's another one. All one-way action, I'm guessing. Florida Atlantic. Yep. -1.5, -2, -3.5, -4, -4.5, -5, -6. Not a single friend on the College of Charleston side. This one might have got buyback. Michigan State, Arkansas. No. +1, -1.5, -2. All one way there. UNLV, I'm guessing the same. It's a one-way action. Trying to find some that sort of ran up and then got really good pushback. This one, -3, -5.5, -6, -6.5, -7, -7.5 on UNLV. This one's got good two-way action. Let me see what happened here. Gonzaga, Oklahoma. It's at 11, -11, -11.5, +12, +11.5. It hasn't really ran. It's where it is. Forget about looking at the totals. A lot of volume again. It's early on. There's lots of other shit going on. Oh, yeah, look at this one. Oh, the game's coming early. Yeah, this one might be. George Washington, South Florida. I'll put you back in a second, John. Hang on. Let me call you in a minute. What was it? George Washington, South Florida. Currently 1.5. Good money at -3. South Florida -2.5, -1.5, +1.5, +2.5, plus. Yeah, so it's really a bad number. So, all right, that's all I've got for now. Definitely coming back before Scott and I get on. Hit some of those 4:30 games. Penn State first half. And I can't remember what the hell that other game was. It was something down the bottom. Go down here. Oh, that Southern Miss. Oh, no, that wasn't it. That was a one-way. Jesus, what was it? Oh, here we go. Air Force, +6.5. All right, cheers. All the best today.